exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farrah doesn't flinch. Let's go into the night with Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was a tale of two halves. The first 30 minutes in Las Vegas was some of the worst football I think I've ever seen, and I've always been a guy who's smart enough to understand, do not bite the hand that feeds you. But wow. I mean, back in the day when I used to run and rip a little bit, you know, you go to Vegas and you go to Tampa and Atlanta and San Diego and places like that, and maybe just possibly once or twice I may have found my way into a sin bin, and it was always pretty cool. The first 30 minutes of football yesterday was like going to the same establishment in downtown Milwaukee. Okay, that's the best way that I can describe it to you. It was awful, but Jacksonville got it going in the second half, and this is such a big win for this franchise, really for so many reasons. I just can't imagine what it would have felt like if you had gone a month without winning a football game. If they let this one get away, then taking that trip now to Houston, that's not the case. They find a way to go out and win a football game. They beat a better team. Really, the only thing that the Raiders had that Jacksonville just had no answer for is Brock Bowers, who is simply sensational. I mean, what a football player he is, and he makes them that much more dynamic. I love the fact that Pete Carroll went for two. I think it was the right move for a franchise that, you know, let's face it, they're not going anywhere this year. They have a couple of good individual players, but at 2-6 and 2-5 at the time, it was the right move. And, you know, that right there with fourth downs are so easily criticized, because I think most fans, if it's 4th and 1 or it's a 2-point conversion, it's always go for it, go for it, go for it, go for it. You miss it. Why did they go for it? Again, fans are never wrong. You people out there, you're never wrong. You're well within the right. These guys make a tremendous amount of money to make the right decisions. And how about Devon Hamilton? Out of all the guys to make a big-time play, he was able to do that yesterday. And, you know, that really speaks volumes of where this football team is at this particular time. All right? They are just, you know, ravaged with injuries, top to bottom. It's about survival. It's about attrition. And you look at a guy like Devon Hamilton who made the big play yesterday. How about Jarian Jones? You'll hear from him a little bit later on the program. I caught up with him in the locker room yesterday after the game. He had played 6 snaps in his last 5 games. Dylan, you and I were talking about this last week. 6 snaps. Lewis goes down. You need a jolt. And I've seen the rankings now, Pro Football Focus, take it for what it's worth. But really an impressive day for Jarian Jones. Only allowed 3 receptions for 21 yards, and he ended up getting, let's see here, the second highest grade, only behind Buster Brown, and how important that was to get a takeaway. Okay? You look at Austin Trammell. As a matter of fact, we're going to get there in 1 second with head coach Liam Cohen. And it just goes on and on and on. Contributions from everyone in this game. Trevor Lawrence was sick. Trevor Lawrence played like he was sick in the first half, but the guy led them to a game-tying drive, okay, and then led them to the overtime victory, a very, just an incredible drive that was put together. 9 of the 10 plays in the overtime drive were rushing plays. This is the Jaguars we're talking about. Jacksonville yesterday ran the ball 42 times. Jacksonville yesterday had 15 first downs on the ground. That is an NFL season record so far. 15 of them on the ground. And yeah, Trevor's always going to make one play. Some of you get angry with me when I say that, but it's there, and the proof is there. You cannot make the mistake that he made. It was a 17-play drive, took 10 and a half minutes off the clock, and for some ungodly reason, he throws an interception in the end zone. And he just, you cannot do that. Yet he does. But I want to give him a lot of credit because he did lead this football team to a come-from-behind victory. And, you know, for all the faults and all the criticism that Trevor Lawrence does receive, he came up big. How about the last drive during, regulation when it set up for the field goal by Cam Little from 48 yards out? This is who he threw the ball to during that drive. Twice to Travis Etienne, once to Tim Jones for a 15-yard reception, once to Hunter Long, and once to Austin Trammell. That was where he was going. Obviously, no Travis Hunter. Diami Brown, at that point, unable to go. Brian Thomas Jr., at that point, unable to go. Brenton Strange going to be on the IR for this week's game against Houston. Hopefully he's ready to go the week after. Same certainly does apply with Devin Lloyd. But that's who he had as far as the talent around him. Yet he had enough to take them into field goal range. And Cam Little, really the story of the game, really happy. And, you know, we get so much wrong around here. We actually got this one right. And I made a big deal about it Friday on the Jaguars radio network as well on Sunday that I thought he would snap out of it, and he did. He made all 3 field goals, including the record-setting 68-yarder. All right, a lot of people thought, and we were talking about this in the press box, overtime. You put your defense out there first, right? Jacksonville ran 17 more plays than Las Vegas did. Jacksonville absolutely dominated the time of possession. I mean, 42 minutes, 57 seconds to 26:47. Yet it felt like they were still a little bit fatigued when the decision was made by Liam Cohen to instead take the ball in overtime. I asked him about it immediately following the 30-29 Jacksonville victory. Your decision to take the ball in overtime, then you just pull Austin Trammell up, and he gives you a 51-yard return and that overall offensive drive.
Yeah, I mean, that was something we had talked about really since all of our game management meetings was in the regular season, that we wanted to take the football. If we would have been able to pin them on the kickoff, you're talking about a 2-minute drill to have to go win the game, right? It was about 2 minutes and 40 seconds or so when they got the ball back. And you'll take that. We were trying to eat the clock, and we ran it, I think it was 9 straight times, I believe, on that drive. And that was the whole point. That was the goal of receiving and taking the ball first. Austin Trammell, huge play. So many guys stepped up today. I mean, look, you had Tim Jones in there playing his first ball, makes a huge catch at the end of regulation to put us in field goal range. Parker Washington had another heck of a night. You know, with Diami and BT going down, we were down to 1 tight end at one point in the game. So really, Coldman Land and Chuma stepping in as the jumbos. Huge night for those guys. So, wild one here.
You know, you look at things, and it's really amazing how they were able to put all of this together, considering the last 2 weeks Jacksonville really unable to run the football, okay? They were made basically a one-dimensional football team, even though the game against Seattle a couple of weeks ago, for the most part, was a one-dimensional, was a one-possession game. We saw again last night. Seattle's for real. That's a really good football team. But you look at this drive by Jacksonville in overtime. They took 6 minutes and 36 seconds off the clock, a 10-minute clock. 10 plays, 44 yards. 9 of the 10 plays were rushing plays. Absolutely insane. I'm trying to remember the last time. This is like Tom Coughlin football. And honestly, I'm trying to remember the last time we've seen something like this. Look at this real quick before the break. Okay? 1st and 10. They go to ETN, picks up a yard. The only pass out of the shotgun, Lawrence to Parker Washington for 13 yards. Then they kept running the jumbo package, right? Edoga got some snaps. Cole Van Lannon got some snaps. They went to 3 tight ends or, 3 tackles, depending on how you want to describe it, the jumbo package, okay? ETN for 10 yards. Tootin for 11 yards. Tootin for 7 yards. ETN, 3 yards. Tootin, -2 yards. Direct snap to ETN for a yard. And, and then Trevor Lawrence calling his own number and stretching, for the touchdown was just absolutely out of this world. 9 of the 10. Doing it on the ground with, your top 3 wide receivers and your top tight end unavailable. That is a huge win. I don't care how you describe it. That is a huge win under that set of circumstances. All right, we got a lot to do here over the next couple of hours. You're going to hear, I did talk to Brian Thomas Jr. after the game. He wasn't in the best of spirits. I asked him, and he said he's fine. I don't know what that means. It's not like players are ever going to come out and be like, yeah, no, actually, I'm down and out. I'm not going to be able to play for at least a couple of weeks. Players never say that. They're going to give you, out of respect for the team, out of respect for the doctors, out of respect for Liam Cohen, they're just not going to come out and say anything injury-wise. But I feel like you still have to ask the question. All right? But outside of that, that locker room was absolutely joyous. And it really sets the tone now to try to take advantage of what is left there for you. What a day. The entire AFC South lost outside of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And all of a sudden, Indianapolis looks human. So, coming up, you're going to hear from Jarian Jones. You're going to hear from Travis Etienne. You're going to hear from Anton Harrison. I caught up with them and many more after the football game yesterday. We'll also play some comments from Trevor Lawrence, a little bit more from Liam Cohen, as it is a Victory Monday right here on your home of the Jacksonville Jaguars, 92.5 FM. Opening comments, as always, brought to you by Shmunez Vision. Let me tell you, the press box, way, way, way up. It's beautiful, absolutely spectacular in Las Vegas, but it's way up there. And it's cool because the way it's built with the TVs right there as well, you can actually, watch the play and then look up and see it, 7 seconds behind or whatever it is. So it kind of made for a 2-for-1. But thank you to Shmunez Vision, because I was able to see everything that did take place yesterday. And ask yourself right now as you make your way home, where are your eyes compared to where you got up this morning or when you got up this morning? Has fatigue set in? Of course it is. Your body's tired, your mind's tired, your eyes are tired. Imagine having laser eye surgery. Imagine having 20/20 for the rest of your life and never have to worry about taking out your contacts, right? Never have to worry about finding your readers. It's just one of the many things that the good folks at Shmunez Vision can provide for you. The best way to check them out, just go to Shmunez Vision online. You can also go to Instagram and get the very latest as far as testimonials at Shmunez Vision. We got a ton to do tonight. It's great to have you with us. My name is Rick Ballou. He is Dylan Denmark. We call this Into the Night.
And he's not moving. That was a heck of a hit.
Good health is an important part of a successful program.
A guy who was number 5 on our depth chart is now our starting wideout.
Listen for the personal injury attorneys Farah and Farah Injury Update. Jacksonville on 1010XL.
Hey folks, Mike Dempsey here for Dandy Foods, a Jacksonville family business for nearly 70 years. Heck, I've been talking about them for over a decade. The Thompson family secret, Dandy is never frozen. Always fresh baked bread with quality meats and cheeses. No dry, crumbly subs here, only soft and tasty deliciousness. When I see that logo with the little guy with the cane on the label, it tells me I'm getting a trusted brand and a quality sandwich. So do what I do, stop in at a Circle K and make yours a Dandy today.
Football season is here, and our hometown team isn't the only one ready to stack up the wins. At Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi, you score big every time you shop with us. Thousands of vehicles, no flags, no fumbles, just hassle-free car buying and big wins with lifetime warranties, lifetime oil changes, and lifetime customer service. Plus, our wow pricing lets you celebrate a touchdown of savings. Beaver Toyota, Beaver Chevrolet, and Beaver Mitsubishi. We're here to wow you.
Win or lose, nothing's off limits for us.
Picking a Brosser on the live Swamp Sessions podcast right after every Gator football game.
We'll bring out insight, analysis, and Gator passion.
Live stream from Voodoo Brewing Company.
On the 1010XL social channels.
Driven by Atlantic Infinity.
Lauren Brooks here for Terminix. When pests invade your home or business, you don't just need them out. You need them out fast. And you need to keep them out. At Terminix, they'll show up for you and eliminate pests quicker, just like they did at my house. Because they care about what matters most to you. When pests show up, so does Terminix. Don't live with a pest problem, Terminix it. Visit Terminix.com today to schedule a free inspection online. That's TERMINIX.com. That's right, Terminix it.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. I think I'm some kind of football prophet.
Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When the unexpected happens, you shouldn't have to face it alone. I'm Chris Campione, and at Campione Law, we're here to fight for you. Whether it's an auto accident or a slip and fall, our Jacksonville team takes care of every detail, from investigating the incident to securing multi-million-dollar verdicts, so you can focus on getting better. And remember, you don't pay a dime unless we win your case. Our commitment is 24/7, bringing you the real support from real people who really care. Campione Law, your dedicated partners in justice. Visit CampioneLaw.com.
Count on Campione, Campione Law.
Brian Wall here with Window World. You know that awesome feeling when you finally find that one place to go to that will give you a top quality product at a great price and then stand behind what they sell you? That's exactly what Window World does. Top quality, energy efficient windows at a great price that keeps more of your money in your bank account. With the absolute best guarantee in the window replacement business. That's why Window World has been the #1 window replacement company in the USA for years, selling more than 1 million windows each year for the past 8 years. That's a lot of satisfied customers, and you can be one too. Save money on installing new energy-efficient windows and save on your energy bills too. You can't lose. And if anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows ever, Window World and I will be there to make it right. Call Window World today or see them online and have them come and give you a free estimate and see why we are so proud of our products and the work we do for our customers. Call Window World or go online at windowworldneflorida.com. And thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
Now is the right time to order your holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. This is E.T. with 1010XL, and Kuhn Flowers will do your holiday tree decorating, including all of your lights. Wow. So call Kuhn Flowers today. They'll do it all this fall.
Ballou here for Smunez Vision. Why Smunez Vision? Well, I've been with Dr. Neil Smunez now since I got back to Jacksonville in 2006. 37 years of experience he has. Smunez Vision is a family organization that focuses on personal high-quality medical and surgical eye care. Dr. Catherine Smunez is fellowship-trained in cornea and cataract surgery and all refractive surgery. Combined, that's 30 years plus in laser eye surgery. Visit SmunezVision.com today. Here you can see.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, Jacksonville a winner, 30-29. They knock off the Las Vegas Raiders, and all of a sudden, 5-3 sounds a whole heck of a lot better than 4-4. And a real opportunity here the next 2 weeks. Go to Houston, win a game. C.J. Stroud concussed. We'll get the very latest there. Remember, this is still the top overall defense in the NFL. Then in 2 weeks, all of a sudden, the Los Angeles Chargers look like they could be had, really beaten up along the offensive line. That includes Joe Alt, who, was their left tackle. And he was carted off the field yesterday. Jacksonville doesn't have to apologize to anyone. They are dealing with just a ton of injuries. We really didn't get much today on it from Liam Cohen. Maybe Wednesday we'll know a little bit better. Devin Lloyd is huge. You got to find a way to get him back. And we know the trade deadline is tomorrow at 4. Keep hearing wide receiver. Perhaps I'm more concerned right now with the safety position. And, you had just too many injuries there. And, Jordan Lewis going out in the slot also hurt him, although Jardian Jones, it's good to see him come back. Again, he was forgotten for 5 weeks and did play well yesterday. Tonight's show brought to you by the Miller Electric Company. They've been around here for over 96 years. They're consistently ranked as one of the top businesses in town. And you know what? It makes total sense. Have you ever met the good folks over there? They believe in a culture where people actually care about one another. And that's true. They reward hard work, best pay, top-notch benefits. So if you're getting out of school and college is not for you, if you're having a midlife crisis, you want a career change, or you're already an electrician, but you feel you're undervalued, I got one name for you: Miller and Miller Electric. Check them out online. Go to Miller Careers to get all the details. What a sensational company right here in Duval. 30-29. I threw out 17 points. I tell you what, Dylan, it was 6-3 at halftime. I was thinking I should have bet my house on the under. I yelled about it all week long.
Oh, yeah, and the over-under was 44. You're like, that's way too many points for these two offenses and how they're banged up they are. I thought a final score of 19-17. I was going to take that and run with it. And then Jacksonville goes out and scores on 6 straight drives in the second half. That was pretty crazy.
Yeah, and you take them any way you can get them. And I know it's become old, and hopefully I'll stop saying this. I did the first couple of weeks during the season. But honestly, I mean, this is a game they lose last year. There's no question about it. This is a game that they lose 2 years ago. This is a game they probably would have lost, 7 out of the last 8 seasons. And Devon Hamilton getting the paw up like that and making a huge play. I mean, Brock Bowers was absolutely sensational yesterday. I see right here the 4973 saying it to me. Rick, why can't we cover the tight end? I had this conversation last week with Hayes Carline and Ryan O'Halloran when he was filling in. And to me, the toughest position, without even thinking about it, in the NFL is a quarterback. It's arguably the most difficult position in all of team athletics, but it certainly is in the NFL. To me, number 2 has always been great coverage linebackers. I mean, how many of them are there? There are great run stuffing linebackers, but I'm talking about combination guys that can also stick with a tight end, or perhaps if you're in zone, if someone out of the slot or what have you is coming over the middle. There's not a lot of great coverage linebackers, and the one who's played the best this year, arguably in the entire NFL, is Devin Lloyd with his 4 interceptions. He wasn't out there. That was a huge blow yesterday. 90 minutes before kickoff, finding out that Lloyd wasn't able to go. Now that you win the game, don't you feel better? It's like, yeah, you found a way to win it without him. And, it's starting to feel like he is going to be available this weekend in Houston, okay? It feels that way. And Liam Cohen did chat on that. As a matter of fact, is that worth running for a set? Yeah, let's get to number 2. Liam Cohen, he had a late press conference today, obviously coming back from Las Vegas. So I think this was about 2 hours or so ago. Liam Cohen had this to say about Devin Lloyd.
Yeah, I would say he's getting a lot closer. I would say we definitely – the Cavs, man, are a different – I went through a calf debacle in Tampa last year in terms of some of the defensive linemen and defensive players having calf injuries, and bringing them back too soon sets you back in a major way. So we just want to make sure we're doing right by Devin and doing right by our team to not bring him back too soon.
Makes a lot of sense. It'd be so easy just to give him the needle and, numb it up and send him out there. But that could provide an even more significant injury to the calf down the road. If he didn't win this game yesterday, this would have been one of the many questions that would have been tossed around, right? I mean, there's so many that would have been mentioned, but now all of a sudden that's gone. And you can take a deep breath and say, boy, you won a football game without Brenton Strange. You won a football game without Travis Hunter. You won a football game without, Devin Lloyd. You won a football game without Eric Murray. The list just goes on and on and on. And again, that's the league. You got to find ways to win football games. All right. Yesterday, Brian Thomas Jr. goes down with the ankle. I put this on Twitter, and I love angry folks on Twitter. You just really make my you make my afternoons when I'm covering games just so entertaining. He had a huge grab yesterday. It was 3rd and 11. He caught a 34-yard pass and catch, made a couple of people miss. And I put out on Twitter or X, arguably the biggest reception that he has made of the year. And I know he's made a few other big ones. You can certainly reference Kansas City. But one guy was just absolutely out of control. I mean, you should no longer cover this football team. You don't know what you talk about. Do better. How can you say that? I'm like, bro, go back and read what I wrote. I said, arguably, his biggest reception of the year. This man gets criticized on a week-to-week basis for drops, for lack of effort, for being scared, for not being on the same page with Trevor Lawrence, for being hesitant. It's just one after another. He made a big play yesterday. He made a huge play on 3rd and 11. But again, I love the spirit. I love your fight. I also love more than anything when you tell me to do better. And that's what I'm going to do during this show, again tomorrow, and again on Wednesday. I'm thinking by Friday, we're going to have a freaking spectacular show, especially if the Jaguars keep winning. We got a ton to do. Best way to join us, 641-1010 on the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Let's welcome in the good folks of YouTube. What's the drink of choice on a victorious Monday in Duval? Always, we want to know. Let us know. And we got much more to do with you tonight till 8.
Your home for Florida Gators basketball is 1010XL.
The season tips off tonight as the Gators take their championship swagger to Vegas against the Wildcats. Florida, Arizona, 7 o'clock on 1010 a.m.
I used to dread going to the dentist. Every visit felt like a sales pitch with constant upselling, surprise fees on my bill, and I could never get in when I needed to. But Harbor Dental Care? Totally different. They saw me the next day, gave me honest pricing up front, and even set me up with a payment plan I could actually afford. No pressure, no surprise charges, just kind people who get it. If you want to experience dentistry the way it should be, book your appointment today at harbordental.care. That's HARBOUR dental.care.
Hey folks, Frank Franzi here for Lee & Kate's Glass. Now with the holidays coming, it's time to update that dated-looking bathroom setup and give yourself the gift of a gorgeous new frameless shower with big, sexy glass you spend every morning and night in that bathroom. A new shower enclosure from Lee & Kate's Glass will look fantastic and make your bathroom feel like a luxurious spa. You'll love it. You deserve it. Request a free in-home consultation. Visit leeandkatesglass.com.
You're gonna see a big difference.
Sewer backups stink, literally. Tree roots, old pipes, or major clogs can be the cause. Superior Plumbing and Pipeline inspects and clears sewer lines fast. If your sewer's backed up, make the Superior choice and learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
We're certainly facing interesting economic times. For me, it's comforting to know my money's in good hands with ITP Partners. Jacksonville guys taking care of my Jacksonville money. Experience? Yeah, that's Chris Bryan, Jeff Hartman, Reagan Wright, Dan Abel, Scott Regner, Janice Cobb, and Reed Wingate. They have the expertise and knowledge to take care of your money. For more info, go to itppartners.com. ITP Partners, they're my financial partners for life.
Non-compensated client testimonial may not be representative of all client experiences. No guarantee of future performance or success.
Do you have numbness and tingling in your fingers, or wake up at night and have to shake your hand? Hi, I'm Dr. George Bari, and at Bari Orthopedics, we have a myriad of treatments that can possibly help you. If you have numbness and tingling, you may have carpal tunnel. We have cortisone injections, PRP injections, and shockwave therapy that may help treat the numbness and tingling that you have. We also treat it surgically with endoscopic carpal tunnel release, a 2-centimeter incision that will release the nerve and have you back at work and doing what you want to do in life in no time. If you have numbness and tingling in your hand, give us a call at Bari Orthopedics or log on at bariorthopedics.com.
I love my propane company. They always answer when I call and give me great prices and fast service. Said no one ever.
Until now. Need propane for your home or business? Seabreeze Propane is bringing the propane as North Florida's new local propane provider. Visit SeabreezeLP.com.
Seabreeze Propane. We make propane cool, brother. Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's Rick Ballou. I just upgraded my home with fantastic floors, and the experience was incredible. Rusty and the team brought the showroom to me with their at-home consultation. The whole process was simple, the installation was top-notch, and the results, absolutely fantastic. Take it from me. Don't wait. Visit fanfloors.com and schedule your at-home consultation today. Fantastic Floors, where every step is fantastic.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for a limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval!
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. I love Hello Smooth Med Spa, my go-to for skin health and beauty. Their biggest event of the year is November 19th, National Botox Day. Huge deals, local vendors, and it benefits Make-A-Wish. Don't miss it. Visit hellosmooth.com for more details.
If you're tired of weekend projects turning into weekend disasters, you're not alone. Building a fence isn't as easy as it looks. And let's face it, your neighbor still hasn't fixed his lopsided masterpiece. But Superior Fence and Rail makes it easy. Highly trained professionals, top quality materials, and a fence you'll love for years to come. Skip the stress and call the pros today.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
A lot of Jaguars fans at the Eagles show on Saturday night. This was the highlight, without any question. Joe Walsh, what an entertainer. And he sang 3 of his songs, Rocky Mountain High, Funk 49, and This in the City. But, the voice maybe ain't what it once was, but certainly his guitar playing is still just absolutely off the chart. So that was cool to go to the Spear. And what a great night. Meeting Joe Walsh was really, really cool. I met thousands of athletes. They don't do it for me anymore. I don't think, I can't think of anyone that would get me to stutter who's played sports if they walked into the room.
Michael Jordan?
No. It'd be very cool. I've seen Michael Jordan, so I'm in Chicago. I've seen Tiger Woods. I've Tom Brady. I was a sideline reporter for the AFC Championship game. I've seen him no one's even I refuse to meet Bobby Orr because he's like my one idol that I'm just never going to meet him. I don't ever want to meet him. I've had chances. But when you meet someone like Joe Walsh or you meet someone like that's just totally different for me.
I feel like musicians, even with the same genre of a band, are a lot different in their stories as compared to athletes.
Yeah. His stories were great. We got to meet him backstage watching the World Series, and Derek's known him since he was 8 years old. I went with Derek Trucks and Susan Tedeschi, and, they're tight. And it was just a blast. So, great show. Saw a ton of Jaguar fans out there, though, taking in the
the Eagles. And I got to tell you, they got us in the suite. They got us in James Dolan's suite, who owns it, owns the Knicks, owns the Madison Square Garden. You would not believe what this place looks like.
I drove past it in March. I cannot imagine. I've seen a couple of videos what the inside looks like. I can't imagine physically what it looks like being in the inside of it as compared to, a video.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even look real.
It was spectacular, and that suite was absolutely just stupid. It was so cool. All right, every Monday night, we do something here called What Floored Me. It's brought to you by the good folks over at Fantastic Floors, and, they've been in business now for 15 years. Quality flooring, huge selection, hardwood tile, LVP carpet, family owned. I've known Rusty and his wife for about 15 years. How about the at-home consultation? No pressure. It's convenient. It's tailored for your home, professional installation, and it's backed by warranties. For all the details, just go to fanfloors.com. I'm going to go with the rushing attack by the Jaguars yesterday. Travis Etienne, 115 total yards. By the way, for what it's worth, we talked about the lack of the screen game. 5 for 5 yesterday. Lawrence and Etienne. And that was big, 31 receiving yards. He also had 84 rushing yards. Out of his total of 115 yards, 98 came after contact. That's how tough Travis Etienne was yesterday in the victory. And overall, just, a record-setting day for Jacksonville, where they ran the ball 42 times for 151 yards. So that is what floored me. The Jaguars' rushing attack. One of the guys leading the way is Anton Harrison. Had an opportunity to catch up with him in the locker room right after the 30-29 win.
Anton, your first 2 years in the league, today's a game that you would have lost. You won it today. How gratifying is that?
Oh, it's good. It feels good to win games like that. It's hard to win in this league. It just feels great to come out on the other side.
Almost felt like two different halves. I mean, both teams really struggled to get things going offensively in the first 30 minutes. And you guys took off really rushing the football in the final 30 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that's something we knew we can do. We knew we wanted to do. I feel like we got a couple good runs the first half, but we just wasn't in the red zone. We just wasn't finishing how we wanted to. And that came in the halftime talk, and we just had to keep going. Had to keep dominating, keep pushing, and straighten and finish. And I feel like we came out second half, and that's what we did. We attacked. We was the attackers, and we just kept going.
What did it say about your teammates to have all these guys go down, yet those waiting absolutely contributed this afternoon?
It's huge. We've been saying this since week one, especially like up front when Ezra went down, Cole came in. He was playing a lot of jumbo and things like that and go to guard. Chuma came in. So it's just praise to them. They always ready. Never know what's going to happen in this league. Anybody get hurt, any play, and just staying ready. And that's huge. There's no drop-off when they come in, too. It's like, it's just same five, man. That's good and that's big for us.
Trevor's sick, yet he comes out, guts it out, leads you guys to victory. Just what's that all about?
It just shows how much fight he got, how much heart, love he has for us in the game, and it's huge. Having our leader doing that, just make us want to fight more for him, man. As an O-line, we busted our ass for him, knowing he was going through stuff, and he didn't really show it. We didn't even really know he was sick out there, and that's praise to him.
Last one for you. He's been here your entire career. You guys go up against him all the time in the ditch, but to see Devon Hamilton get the big paw up there and knock down that 2-point conversion, what was that like?
It was great. It's huge. Big play. Sitting on the sideline, we had faith in the defense getting that stop. It's going for two. It's no. We got to get. We want to win. We're going to fight. And D-Ham been a great player for us, and he just kept making plays. He made the play right there.
Thank you, Anton.
Appreciate it.
Anton Harrison yesterday, and I asked him about everyone contributing. We're well aware of Etienne's 22 carries for 84 yards. How about Bashal Tootin? 9 carries, 29 yards, and a touchdown. Okay? Etienne couldn't get in the end zone. They turned around, gave him the football. We'll probably replay that interview for you maybe tomorrow or Wednesday with the rookie Tootin. How about LaQuint Allen? LaQuint Allen, 3rd and 5. He gets one at bat, and he picks up 10 yards and a first down. Again, 15 first downs rushing. I didn't realize this until I read about it last night. That is a record so far in the NFL. 15 first downs by Jacksonville in this game on the ground.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even realize that either. And I'm assuming most of those happened in the second half.
Oh, no doubt.
I mean, the first half, how many first downs did they get? Maybe 4? Well, I mean, they had that one long drive, so I guess I take that back. But, I mean, that long drive they had, other than that, it was a first drive was a 3-and-out punt. You had that 10-minute drive. You might have got one first down on that field goal right before the half.
Mm-hmm. Vegas had more rushing yards than Jacksonville in the first half. Genti had 7 carries for 38 yards. You look at Jacksonville, ETN, 7 for 19 in the first half. Tootin, 3 of 8, 3 carries, 8 yards. Lawrence, 2 for 5 yards. And Diami Brown on a reverse, a 4-yard carry. So, you look at their backs, that's 12 carries for 32 yards. And they did not get away from it. Obviously, they had 42 rushes, a season high in this victory, and it was a season high as well when it came to time of possession in this football game. All right, so a lot of really good things did take place yesterday. The 0107 says, a victory Monday with no rain. How about that? No doubt, it rains every Monday in Duval. It did not today. I didn't get in late. I was up early, like 3:30 for a 6 a.m. flight, but of course a 3-hour change, and there were just a ton of Jaguar fans on my flight back into Duval. Got in around 1:30 or so, but hey, I'm wired up. I'm ready to go. I may have to pour myself 3 fingers worth tonight during Monday Night Football and hit the rack and get a good night's sleep. But right now, it's all about this Jaguars football team. They're really in good shape. We come back more on the Jags, but let's take a look at this division for 1 second as well as we roll until 8 o'clock.
Mike Dempsey for Apex Roofing and Contracting of Jacksonville Beach. If your roof's got any damage, if it leaks, if it's just old and ugly, call my friends at Apex Roofing. But Mike, roofs are so expensive. It's true, quality roofing is not cheap, but Apex Roofing has up to 100% financing available, so you don't have to compromise quality for budget. Apex Roofing, no shortcuts, no stress, just quality work with financing available. Reach for the peak with Apex Roofing and Contracting in Jacksonville Beach. ApexRoofingFL.com.
Jacksonville, hunting season is here, and nobody gears you up like Green Acres Sporting Goods, home of the largest archery pro shop in Northeast Florida. They've got everything for all seasons: archery, black powder, and general gun season. Green Acres is a fully stocked Browning dealer with ammo, accessories, and safes. Don't miss out on Florida's Second Amendment sales tax holiday, happening now through the end of the year. Gear up today at greenacresporting.com.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL. Served by Tandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
When persistent plumbing problems leave you feeling flushed, don't panic. Call Roland Reich, the one-stop solution for any plumbing problem, residential or commercial. No matter how complex the work, Roland Reich quotes all pricing in advance, so your only surprise is how quickly they'll solve your issue. Whether your pipes are doing a water ballet or you need to hydrojet the whole system, always use Roland Reich Plumbing at plumbingjacksonville.com.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. With over 1,700 5-star Google reviews, it was a no-brainer to have Closets by Design help us get organized at home. They create custom storage for every space, lifestyle, and budget. From closets to garages to laundry rooms and more. Closets by Design will transform clutter into seamless organization. Call today to schedule your free in-home consultation before the holidays and get 40% off plus an extra 15% off with free installation. 18-month financing is available. Call 878-9393 or visit closetsbydesign.com.
Jimerson Burr is a full-service, Florida-based commercial law firm that has experience and capabilities to handle any legal issue a business is confronted with. Learn more about what they can do for you at jimersonfirm.com.
Frank Franzi here for Coyle Fencing. Jacksonville is full of memorable sports moments. Remember Morton Anderson missing a chip shot field goal that launched the Jags into the playoffs in '96? You know who doesn't miss? Coyle Fencing. Coyle has been the fencing leader in Northeast Florida since 1927. Heck, Coyle has been installing fences since before Emery Bellard installed the wishbone offense. If you need a new fence, I recommend calling Coyle Fence today at 904-356-4821 or visit CoyleJacks.com. Coil Fencing, proud partner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The doctors at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists have resolved my hip and foot issues, and I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. This is Garrett Scantling, and I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
This is David Garrard. Following my knee surgeries and recovery, I'm continuing to feel great and would recommend Southeast Orthopedic to anyone who's experiencing orthopedic pain.
Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Jacksonville, you voted, and Baker Glass came out on top. The Bold City Best Awards are all about locals choosing their favorites, and you picked them for Best Auto Glass and Best Glass and Mirror Service.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
When you're faced with damage in your home from water, fire, or mold, you need a team with the expertise to fix it right.
Rest-A-Pros!
A locally owned, nationally backed franchise that's here to help you when you need them. A team that does it right the first time.
Rest-A-Pros!
Remember, you don't have to use the insurance company's preferred contractors. Get it done right by a licensed professional you can trust. Call 904-201-9151 or go to RestaProsAnyFlorida.com. That's RestaProsAnyFlorida.com.
Rest-A-Pros!
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
It is a mash unit here in Duval. Got to get healthy because you got to go back out on the road, try to win in Houston. Been a house of horrors, and hey, Houston's beaten up as well. One more game out for sure. We know that about Brenton Strange, his hip, and it could be longer, but he's got to serve the 4 games on the injured reserve. Hopefully he's back for the return to a home game here against the Los Angeles Chargers. We talked about Devin Lloyd a little bit earlier with the calf. It's starting to feel like he could be available this weekend against Houston. Jordan Lewis, the shoulder, oh boy. I mean, they just can't afford that. And Jarian Jones did play well, but we'll have an update on Lewis hopefully Wednesday, if not Thursday. Hunter Long returned after the hip injury, made a great play on that reception. I thought it was an ankle. They're saying a hip. He also dropped what would have been a touchdown. He just... this team, the self-inflicted wounds are still there. I thought it was a much better effort by the offensive line. 1 sack. I haven't seen the pressures yet, but we know the ridiculous amount. What was it, 76 over the last 2 weeks? I mean, it was like historic. I don't know what it was, but it felt like they did a much better day. Crosby got 1, and he did have some pressures. And what a great football player he is.
Some of those swim moves he had at the goal line, where he just I'm just better than you. Get off me. That's next level. That's Hall of Fame stuff.
Him and Bowers both are just 2 really special players. And I want to say Gentry's going to be the, Genty, excuse me, not Gentry, but Genty is going to be in the same category. Diami Brown, concussion protocol. That hurts. Hopefully, you just don't know. Hey, C.J. Stroud's dealing with the same thing right now in Houston. If C.J. can't go, it's Davis Mills. All right, there's your quarterback for Houston coming up this Sunday. Brian Thomas Jr., I asked him in the locker room after the game. He said he was fine. Okay, but players, I've been doing this for a number of years, players are going to say that. They're never going to come out and tell you that they're wounded. And then, Ezra Cleveland came out, lower body, knee, and ankle. That's really a concern as well. Although Cole Van Linden played well. He graded well. Let's see here. He was the second highest rated player behind only Parker Washington, according to Pro Football Focus, 80.7. Then it was Van Lanen, 75.8. So Washington, Van Lanen, we just interviewed Anton Harrison. He came in at 73.7. Let's see, Van Lanen saw 10 snaps at left guard and then 18 snaps when they went to the jumbo offensive line. They did a lot of 2-back sets yesterday and some things. They just addressed running the football. I love that style of
of football. Okay. Currently, the Jaguars would be the third wild card team. They would be the 7th overall seed. Indy still at 7-2, New England 7-2, Denver 7-2, Pittsburgh 5-3. Thank you to Denver and Pittsburgh. They did their job yesterday. Pittsburgh knocked off Indianapolis in Pennsylvania 27-20. And as we know, Denver got it done in Houston 18-15. So Houston not mathematically out, but you can really punch them in the face on Sunday and send them to 3-6 on the return. That would send Jacksonville to 6-3. You'd have a 3-game lead over Houston if you can get that done. You look at Indianapolis, all of a sudden they look a little bit human, and they got to go to Berlin to play a football game this weekend. They haven't had their bye yet. I have to imagine it's probably after the trip to Berlin. But they're taking on Atlanta. And you and I talk about this all the time. I talk about it with R.J. Saunders as well. The Atlanta Falcons, to me, may be the most difficult team in the NFL to try to really get a feeling for. They almost knocked off New England yesterday in New England. We watched them tear apart Buffalo, and then they fell apart.
Carolina lost 30-0. And if you think that's
how do you explain that?
To try betting on them in a weekly pool, week after week, in a when you have to bet against a spread.
Hell no, I wouldn't touch Atlanta.
Yeah, you have no idea how to bet them because you have no idea what you get week to week.
If I was a betting man, that is one team. I don't care what the situation is. I feel like, even in our selections, our weekly picks, if Atlanta's on the list, it's a guaranteed loss for me.
Yeah, I mean, there was a game, they played Miami 2 weeks ago, and you're like, Bijan's going to go off for 150 yards rushing and 100 receiving. Dude didn't even get 30.
Yeah, and look what he did against Buffalo the week before that.
Right, it went off.
Yeah, it's hard to figure out. But this Houston this weekend, then L.A. comes in town. And again, the Los Angeles Chargers, their offensive line is really beaten up, including Joe Alt, their left tackle, who was carted off the field. I'm not relying on the wild card. I still believe that Jacksonville has to win the division. I just do. And if you look at the Colts in Germany this Sunday against Atlanta, very difficult game. Again, we don't know what to make out of Atlanta. Then it's the bye. Then they go to Kansas City. They host Houston. They come down here to Duval on Sunday, December 7th. Oh, my goodness, if you have plans that are not Jacksonville, Indianapolis on December 7th, I don't know if we can be friends anymore. At Seattle, back-to-back road games, okay? From Indy to Seattle, that is a hike. Home with San Francisco, home with Jacksonville, and then at Houston. I do not see any 4-foot putts here. Every single one of these games is going to be a 60-minute contest. Now, Indy's a talented team. They could win them all. They could also really stub their toe. This is a brutal schedule. Road trips to Germany against Atlanta, at KC, at Jacksonville, at Seattle, and at Houston. And then home dates, Houston, San Francisco, and Jacksonville. Like their chances an awful lot. We'll see what happens this weekend. It'll be a big game. It's at 9:30 in the morning. And we'll get an early look at that one before the Jaguars take on Houston. Houston right now is a small favorite. Again, I don't think any of this really applies unless you're getting it in, your money early, getting your money in early. I mean, I don't know why you would do that when you don't know about the health for either one of these two teams. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. All right, let's get ready for our second hour. I want to play Jarian Jones in the second hour. He's been kind of an MIA the last month and a week. Came up big yesterday when Jordan Lewis went out. Much more to do on the Jags. Just getting a ton of your questions, and I want to go random fire and get to them all. If you'd like to join us, you can. You can join the Knuckleheads on YouTube, who I think every single one of them on YouTube right now is partying. Okay, all you have to do is go to YouTube 1010XL into the night. You can also get us on the text line, which is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
A strong fence makes a good fence. A strong defense makes a good team.
They're the best defense in the league for a reason.
Each week, Superior Fence and Rail presents the Defensive Player of the Game. Go, let's go! On 1010XL.
I'm Frank Franzi, and I just got back from the farm at Okefenokee. Man, it's incredible. Just an hour north of Jacksonville and Folkestone. I was so impressed. It's about connecting with nature, with food, with community, and now you can own your very own handcrafted cabin tucked into a 1,000-acre regenerative farm. Everything you need is there. You'll hardly need to go grocery shopping. Learn more about all of it at okefarm.com. That's OKEfarm.com, the farm at Okefenokee.
Did you know that for every inch of rain on a 2,000 square foot roof, 1,500 gallons come off the eaves of the roof? Call Clearwater Seamless Gutters and Drainage, and we'll design a plan using our Clearwater Seamless Gutters, and we'll connect those gutters to a Clearwater drainage system to solve your erosion and standing water issues.
Clearwater Seamless Gutters. We can't sing a lick, but we sure are good at gutters. And drainage, too.
SeamlessGuttersJacksonville.com. This date in sports history is brought to you by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
On November 3rd, 1993, Greg Maddux becomes the first pitcher since Sandy Koufax to win the National League Cy Young Award in back-to-back seasons and the first ever to do it with two different
Brent
teams.
with Arcosa Crushed Concrete. If you've got concrete or asphalt rubble on your site, let me buy it from you, and I will recycle it into construction material for your future projects. Arcosa Crushed Concrete. Get paid for what you don't need.
WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
DivorceMenOnly.com. This is Kenny Lay of Kenny Lay & Associates. Our firm specializes in representing men in family law. That's all we do. That's our only focus. We can help with all of your family law needs, such as divorce, custody, alimony, and child support. For over a decade, we have helped thousands of men with these types of issues. We even have an appellate division ready to challenge a judge's ruling. If you need a family law attorney, go to DivorceMenOnly.com. DivorceMenOnly.com. Offices, Jacksonville.
Brackish Vodka, the spirit of the sportsman and proud partner of the Jaguars, is now available at the Fresh Market Spirits and Wine. The Fresh Market Spirits and Wine is a new adult beverage store offering spirits, wine, beer, and accessories at A1A North in Ponte Vedra, a first-of-its-kind destination for thoughtfully curated spirits, wine, and beer as only the Fresh Market can. And now, you can get Brackish Vodka at the Fresh Market. Brackish Vodka, for whatever your sport is. Proud partner of the Jaguars.
Pickett here. You know me. I'm a protect the skin kind of guy. That said, it's getting a little cooler and the long sleeves are making their way out. This is absolutely the best time of year to go see my guys, the docs at Beaches Dermatology. Don't wait any longer. It's time. Protect that skin, folks. You know what else it's almost time for? The holidays, coming sooner than we think. Skincare products make great presents for the wife or girlfriend. Knock out a consult and buy your wife a present. Boom! Give them a call today. Online at beachesdermatology.com.
Plan ahead this year and order your home holiday decorating from Kuhn Flowers. They'll take care of all your Christmas tree setup, lighting, and decorating hassles. This is RJ with 1010XL. Call on Kuhn Flowers. They'll do it all this fall.
Hey, it's Angela and Brian Wall. How many companies do you know in this day and age that actually want their potential customers to call their competition and get quotes from them?
That's what WonderWorld wants you to do. WonderWorld knows there are other window companies out there, but we also know those other guys. When compared to WonderWorld, they can't offer you the quality at the price that WonderWorld can.
And with Window World, you get the absolute best guarantee there is in the window replacement business.
If anything goes wrong with your new Window World windows, 5 years from now, 10, 15, 50, Window World and I will be there to fix it for you. You get peace of mind with Window World, and to top it off, Window World windows increase the value of your home. So look what you get with Window World. Quality windows, low price, the best guarantee in the business, energy savings, and an increase in the value of your home. A win-win for you.
Call Window World today and get your free in-home estimate or see them online at windowworldneflorida.com.
Window World. Simply the best for less. Thank you for your business.
Window World also offers energy-efficient doors.
The holidays are here, full of joy, family, friends, and yes, a little hustle and bustle. That's why you need Aleve. Between cooking, shopping, and all those extra errands, aches and pains can sneak in. Aleve is here to help with long-lasting body pain relief. Don't let body pain slow you down. With up to 12 hours of body pain relief per dose, you can keep up with the season's magic and all that awaits. Pick up Aleve and get back to what really matters, making memories. Use as directed.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
All right, a complete total win. Everyone on the roster was involved. You see at one play they called a timeout, but they had Yasir Abdullah covering Brock Bowers.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's called a mismatch.
Timeout was called. Cam Little, you and I actually got one right. Saying I just thought he would bust out. I didn't project a 68-yarder. But 3 of 3 for Cam Little, and that's good news there. The special teams is really a concern. Their kick coverage, 232 yards. They averaged giving up 38.7 yards a kick return. This was according to Ryan O'Halloran in his news and notes section of the Florida Times-Union. That has got to get better. That's been a problem all year long.
Well, and it's not like the Raiders were having some dynamic, athlete back there. It was Raheem Mostert.
Yeah.
Some of those times, and he's a 33, 34-year-old running back that really nobody even really wants. So that wasn't good. And I'll give you another one on special teams would be the long snap on that field goal. If it weren't for Logan Cook and that great hold he had, because that was not a good snap. It was a really low snap. That would have been bad.
Arguably, the two best catches of the day was that, and then when Trevor threw it to ETN turned around, threw it back to Trevor, that grab that Trevor made before he throws in the double coverage in the end zone. What was that?
Oh, that's bad. That's bad. You throw it out of the end zone, live to fight another day.
I'm looking here at the text line, and still, man, there's just so many people commenting on Trevor Lawrence, and it's not good. And, I'm always going to be honest with you that there are things that he does that he just can't do. You can't throw an interception. You're knocking on the door. You have 3 automatically, but you're sniffing 7. And he makes a mistake like this all the time. I began the show by giving this guy credit. He was sick. He led him on those 2 drives. He led him on the, obviously, last drive during the, regular completion of play. And then that really outstanding drive where he called his own number and scored a touchdown in overtime. But, it's not enough. And it's tough to defend Trevor Lawrence when his completion percentage is 59.7. That's 31st in pro football. His quarterback rating is 79.7. That's 30th in pro football. 9 touchdowns, 6 picks. He's 24th in touchdowns, tied for 6th in interceptions. Yet he wins, at least this year, 5-3. Nowhere near perfect. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here, especially the way he got it done. There were 3 more drops. The long one would have been 7 points. You had a drop by Brown. You had a drop by Brian Thomas Jr. So, you're getting more and more of that. And that's been an issue all year. I tell you what else has been an issue all year. Penalties. They had 8 more of them on Sunday. The majority in the first half, but 72 yards. Patrick McCarry, his 7th penalty this year is an offensive lineman. You had an ejection. Can you imagine if they lost this game? We would have talked about the Trevor interception, the penalties, the ejection of Trayvon Walker. And it was the classic, I hit you, you hit me. The teacher saw the response in the second hit. But a man of his of his play, even though he has been slowed with that injury, you can't make those mistakes.
No, and he knows better than that. You can't throw a punch clearly after the play is over in a play like that. No, if they would have lost yesterday, it would have been doomsday and it would have been yeah, they were good the first couple of weeks of the season. This is another thing too about they lose the last couple games. They had a bye week. You have all these injuries. Okay, now you're seeing the kind of coach that Liam Cohen is. You're not seeing the kind of coach he is when you're winning, everything's going good. No, you're going to see the true test of a man whenever things aren't going good.
Yeah.
And he's, doing a phenomenal job. He and the staff.
This is the league. This is what it's going to come down to. It comes down to a play here, a play there, a mistake here, a mistake there. And Jacksonville did a lot of really good things yesterday. We talked about rushing the football, right? What about on defense? They totally took away the run. They made Geno Smith and the Raiders a one-dimensional football team. They got their first takeaway in 3 games. Buster Brown with a pick. Enormous. Josh Hines-Allen, been waiting forever. I thought it was 2 sacks. After the game, he found out it was a sack and a half, so he's now tied with Tony Brackens for the franchise lead of 55 sacks in his career. Made some big plays there late in the football game. So, it's just one thing after another. How about third downs? Season high yesterday, 9 of 16. I wrote it down here. I write down weekly. They came into this game at 32.9% on third down. They were 31st in the NFL. Last year, Liam Cohen in Tampa was number 1. So they improved that. Let's see now. They're 40 of 110, so they got up to 36.4. Still not where you want it. It'd be nice to get it in the mid-40s. Again, I don't expect them to get to 50.9 like they had a year ago with, Tampa Bay and what did occur. But at least for a week, it is improving. All right, we're less than 24 hours away. Are they going to make a move? They have a ton of draft capital. Who out there makes sense? I keep hearing wide receiver. And truthfully, right now, we don't know. Mixed reports on Hunter. I know what Schefter said earlier today. I don't know what to make of that. I heard really something that was opposite of that yesterday in the press conference. I'm not going to elaborate because it was one, it wasn't on the record, and number 2, it was from someone who had heard something, but by no definition at all did it mean that it was truthful, even though I totally respect the individual that I spoke with. We'll just let this, play out. I think they need a safety. I mean, Dewey got burnt again yesterday. Antonio Johnson, man, you really want to support this guy. He's got to make that tackle, right? I mean, it went for a touchdown. He had at least 2 tackles that he missed yesterday that immediately come to mind. And I'll, rewatch the game as I do every Tuesday, but it just feels like they absolutely need a safety right now. So that is a big-time concern. And I'm sure they could use a little bit more beef on that defensive line, whether it's someone coming off the edge or whether it's a little bit more in the interior defensive line. I mean, Trayvon Walker's another one here. You just haven't gotten Trayvon Walker type of play in the last 3 weeks. If you go to the first 4 games of the year, Devin Lloyd was arguably the defensive player of the year in the NFL. I thought Trayvon Walker was playing incredible football as well. This team won a game where they got nothing out of Trayvon Walker, okay? And I understand he gobbles up blockers and he's the central focus or one of them on defense. And Devin Lloyd didn't play. But my point with this is that those two are going to get better. Those two are going to get healthy. Just think about how much better this defense is going to be when you have Devin Lloyd in there full time. And when you have Trayvon Walker with the cast off, getting after it. Let's look at the defensive grades yesterday. Highest according to Pro Football Focus. Listen to these names. Okay? Top overall defensive player yesterday, Buster Brown. Huge. Healthy, playing good football, 78.3. Second, Jarian Jones, 69.1. Brown allowed 4 receptions for 62 yards, had the pick. Jones allowed 21 yards on 3 receptions and had a pass breakup. Number 3, Josh Hines-Allen, 65.7. Number 4, DeJuan Smoot, 65.4. When's the last time we mentioned him? 7 pressures yesterday for Hines-Allen, along with his sack and a half. And then Devon Hamilton, who made the play of the game, which, I guess the play of the game has to be Cam Little's 68-yard field goal. But the most important play of the game probably was Devon Hamilton during the 2-point conversion. Unfortunately, 2 of the 3 lowest graded players yesterday were on the defense. And a lot of that is because of Brock Bowers, but Ventrell Miller, 40.8, Foye Oluokun, 47.6. A couple of missed tackles by Miller. Also, a couple of missed tackles by Foye Oluokun. So there you go. We gave you the good earlier. We also want to mix in a little bit of the bad. All right, when we come back, let's do Jarian Jones, and then let's grab your questions. There's a ton of them coming in. If you would like to join us and fire away a question, anything that is on your mind that is Jaguars related, go to YouTube, 1010XL into the night, or get us on our text line, which is 641-1010, brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures.
Sometimes it's an offensive show.
You gotta be kidding me.
Sometimes it's a show of offensive discipline.
There are no words.
Listen for the Universal Roof and Contracting Offensive Player of the Game on 1010XL.
I know 2 brothers whose minds are always in the gutters.
Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Kevin.
We are the Good Brothers.
That's good with an E.
From Good Brothers Roofs and Gutters.
We install 6 and 7-inch seamless gutters, plus we repair and replace roofs, pool enclosures, and super gutters.
We are the Good Brothers, veteran-owned and local.
Visit goodbrothersroofsandgutters.com.
License number CCC 1334384.
Good Brothers Roofs and Gutters.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. I love Hello Smooth Med Spa, my go-to for skin health and beauty. Their biggest event of the year is November 19th, National Botox Day. Huge deals, local vendors, and it benefits Make-A-Wish. Don't miss it. Visit hellosmooth.com for more details.
Wingstop and 1010XL has the ultimate tailgate for you to win. Leon Searcy here, your lemon pepper guy. Go to 1010XL.com to register to win a 100-piece wing party complete with fries, veggie sticks, and dips.
Instant Keys. You don't have to go to the dealer. Instant Keys comes to you. For lost or broken keys or nearly any make and model of vehicle, call 722-1111 for Instant Keys locksmith service.
Game days aren't the only win happening in the 904. Best of Bold City named 904 Gutters with a Z the #1 seamless gutter company in Duval. Like the team's O-line protects their QB. Call the winning team at 904 Gutters with a Z to protect your home from the rain.
Introducing the Jags Stack at Firehouse Subs. A sub so bold, we had to name it after the team that roars. Packed with protein and made to satisfy a football-sized appetite. It's stacked with honey ham, smoked turkey, and roast beef. Topped with provolone fresh veggies and our new Duval Drizzle. Order the new Jags Stack in the app right now. Available for limited time at participating Jacksonville Firehouse Subs restaurants. The hottest subs in Duval!
After an accident, you may have an x-ray that looks normal, but you're still in pain. That's because soft tissue injuries like sprains and tears don't show up on x-rays. And if an insurance company doesn't see it, they may not believe you're hurt.
When they don't take your pain seriously, we fight back. We know doctors who are experts in diagnosing soft tissue injuries. They can help us prove that your pain is real, and we'll seek to get you paid for all of your future medical expenses.
Farah and Farah, Jacksonville.
When plumbing problems strike, don't settle for just any plumber. Make the superior choice with Superior Plumbing and Pipeline.
We don't just fix leaks, we fix them right. With honesty, fair pricing, and innovative solutions that can save you thousands. From camera inspections of your pipes to trenchless pipelining that repairs cast iron pipes without tearing up your yard. We go way beyond the drip and clog at Superior Plumbing and Pipeline. No gimmicks, no upsells, just superior service every time. Make the superior choice. Learn more at superiorplumbingjacks.com.
Looking for a great place to enjoy some craft creations and soak up some scenery? Fernandina's Mocama Beer Company is a must-see and must-try. Nassau County knows it. Visitors need to find out about it. Mocama means near the big water where the sun is born. And if you visit their tap room in Fernandina Beach, you'll see how they've mastered equal parts precision and art in creating great flavors from IPAs to Pilsners, lagers, and sours, plus plenty more. Mocama.com, Mocama Beer Company. Start an adventure and find them in Fernandina.
How much do the performers for Super Bowl halftime shows get paid?
Filing an insurance claim following a storm shouldn't be an ordeal. Southern Oak Insurance's claim team prepares for catastrophic situations well in advance. Log on to southernoak.com.
Our family protecting yours. Southern Oak Insurance.
Super Bowl performers are not paid for their shows, but production costs are covered by the NFL, which could go as high as $15 million.
Southern Oak Insurance. Our family protecting yours.
Hey, David again here with Royal Pet Services. It's that time of year when rodents start making their way into our homes. Layson, tell them what they need to get in.
A quarter-size hole.
That's right. That's all they need. Hey, tell them where to go for a free attic and exterior inspection.
Visit RoyalPetServices.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch. Into the Night with Rick Ballou on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Got to keep your quarterback healthy. Dan Quinn really getting pounded in D.C. for leaving Jaden Daniels in when that game was out of reach. And that was a gruesome injury. I see here 62-55 says, Ballou, I know it's a victory Monday and I'm celebrating, but I'm enjoying the Texans fan base going nuts over the hit that put C.J. Stroud out. Karma is a you-know-what. Yeah, I'm an eye for eye, so to speak, in life. I hate injuries in sports because it's their livelihood. But I'm not going to criticize you for that thought. Okay? Again, I don't ever wish injury on anyone when it comes to athletics. But I would imagine that there are some Jaguar fans just like the 62-55 who feel the exact same way about that because of what happened a year ago. All right, Jarian Jones forgotten. Again, 6 snaps in his last 5 games. Jordan Lewis went out and tell you what, he played very well in this football game. We just told you about Pro Football Focus had him the second highest graded defensive player in the 30-29 victory over the Raiders. I caught up with Jarian Jones yesterday after the victory.
Congratulations. What a great win for you guys.
Yes, sir.
You're patient. You're waiting. You get your opportunity, unfortunately, because of an injury. But, a lot of solid football today. You were involved in a lot of things against the pass and the run.
Yes, sir. Just being ready for your moment. I got a lot of familiarity with playing nickel, so that's what I've always done. So just being ready when my name is called, be ready for my team.
I know you've learned this new scheme this year, but did it feel like kind of the football you've been used to both at Florida State and what you did here last year, your natural position?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a little bit like small nuances that you still got to, be on top of. But, I'm getting very comfortable within it, I think you can kind of see it now.
Boy, you guys had a lot of guys go down today. It took everyone complete total effort to win this football game.
Mm-hmm. I mean, next man up, that's the business, that's the nature of the job, but I think we're really connected as a team. So, when one guy goes down, so I think the next guy's ready to bring it up.
It took a while, but Josh Hines Allen, 2 sacks, broke that record. What was it like to see that? And certainly, his first one came at a huge time. It was the final play of the game.
Super proud of my boy. I see the way he works, I don't think nobody really deserved it more than him, So I'm super proud of him, but, I want him to go set a whole different record for it. Like, just take it all the way out the top because he got a lot of ball left in him. So, I'm just happy for Josh.
Was that your first time ever out there for a two-point conversion? I remember the Florida State LSU game where they kicked the PAT and you blocked it. But have you ever been in that situation before with the game on the line?
Yeah, I've never been in that situation before. You know, obviously at Florida State was always a blowout.
Yeah.
And then last year it was what it was. So we blew LSU out for sure. So, you know what I'm saying? I never was on the field for like a two-point conversion.
All right. Hey, last one for you. Huge day with all three AFC South teams all losing this afternoon, with you guys obviously getting the win.
Hey, could you ask me one more time?
All three AFC teams lost today, so you guys picked up a game on everyone in the division.
Yeah, just trying to, you know what I'm saying, keep stacking the weeks, week by week, you know what I'm saying, go ahead and try to win the division, you know. So it's just, you know what I'm saying, taking it one game at a time.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Yes, sir.
You know, I think this is a good thing, and you know, I really like Jarian Jones for numerous reasons, but I still think he's a good football player, and he was lost. And depth is huge, and even if it is back at the nickel, remember, when they signed Jordan Lewis, the feeling was, what's going on here? Why are they signing him? You've got someone who can play in the slot in Jarian Jones, who did it as a rookie. Then we were told that Jones wanted to play in the corner. I thought he had a good camp at the Miller Electric Center, but he just fell out of favor. And then Lewis goes down, you put him back in nickel coverage, and he comes up huge. I mean, 9 tackles yesterday. He also is a 4-core special teamer. He had a special teams tackle yesterday. So, you know, Dylan, you and I have been talking about this over the last couple of weeks. What has happened to Jarian Jones? He, you know, went on a milk carton. They called on him yesterday, and he came up large.
Oh, no doubt. And, I mean, so you have Tyson Campbell traded away. You have no Travis Hunter. Monteric Brown's out there. You have to have somebody to rely on. It felt like Jarian did a pretty good job, and he's probably going to be the guy, I would think, moving forward that you could rely at least on that secondary, because it's not going to be the safety position, you know, relying on the pass. And, you know, at corner, Monteric Brown's played good in some spots, played a good Monday Night Football. Jarian's probably got to be the guy the next couple weeks.
I don't think there's any doubt about that. And, you know, all of a sudden you've got 2 with Hunter, who is out, as we know, and Eric Murray, who is out. Both are on the IR, so you're going to lose them for at least 3 more games. And who knows what the situation is going to be now with Jordan Lewis. You could end up losing him, and you're going to need more guys to absolutely become a big part of this. All right, 25-31. Rick, have you heard about Jack Kaiser potentially getting any more playing time? I have not. We just went through 2 of the 3, you know, 2 of the linebackers were 2 of the 3 lowest graded Jaguars yesterday, according to Pro Football Focus. And Aloakam, which I would put down as a 1-game hiccup, still had 11 tackles. He just missed a few. And Ventrell Miller, again, he got hit with a stupid 15-yard personal foul. No, I have not heard that about Jack Kaiser. I think, you know, Devin Lloyd is what they want back, and it could be as early as this weekend. 40-42 Ballou, that dude Newsome is worse than Tyson Campbell. Well, I think you have to put things really into perspective. And, you know, most get it that could be a fair comment. If you were to just look at talent, who gives you more, who's a better player, is it Tyson Campbell or is it Greg Newsome? Okay, that would be a healthy conversation. But this was addition by subtraction, because Newsome has an opportunity now to show this team that he's worth a new contract. He's in a 1-year show-me year. And he played 62 snaps yesterday. He played 97% of the snaps. So did Buster Brown. Tyson Campbell, you got rid of an awful contract. You got rid of a Trent Baalke bad contract. And by saying goodbye to Tyson Campbell, that may be enough for them to turn around and re-sign Devin Lloyd. You know, I see these Hendrickson rumors and stuff like that. I'm not saying any of that's going to roll in here by 4 o'clock tomorrow, but I think you have to look at this move for the overall reason why they made it. They unloaded a bad contract. They really did. And they got a couple of other bad contracts that they're dealing with right now. I'm sure Walker Little, that can't be looked at as a good contract. Patrick McCarry cannot be looked at as a good contract. So, this team will make moves now. I don't think there's any doubt. But I just think that that's the way it is going to go. 39-52, Ballou, they need a safety so bad. Yeah, there's no doubt. There's really no question. To me, that's the weakest spot on this team right now. And, they're trying to camouflage it a little bit with, they don't have a true free safety with what they're doing. I also saw yesterday, Ryan O'Halloran had this in the paper. I want to say it was 20 times during Geno Smith's dropbacks that Jacksonville sent 5. And, we forecasted that. They haven't been able to get home with 4. They had to send a 5th guy, but overall it didn't work as well as I'm sure they envisioned. Even though Geno Smith was average as the day was long, I still think that's another part of this. To me, it feels more defense than offense. And I know that wide receivers keep getting mentioned, and maybe that ends up being the deal. They didn't show a lot yesterday as far as faith when it came to your wide receivers. Now, Long made the great play, and there was a penalty, but he dropped a touchdown. Can't happen, right? And we don't know what's going on with Brenton Strange, okay? He's out one more game against Houston. Can he come back after the fact? Don't know. We don't know the answer to that question. So I know there's been a little bit of talk about tight end or wide receiver, and where I'm at, it's safety or it's defensive line. That's what I feel at this particular time. Let's see. 4806 says, Ballou, the announcers at halftime show both remarked about his inaccuracy. Take the ball to Trevor Lawrence is saying you can. Everywhere I go, I heard it. I was listening to a lot of stuff in my hotel room on Nissan with these professional handicappers, and they all just crush Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence does not get positive remarks outside of this city. And, yesterday was good enough. He had to do it the unconventional way. He had to do it with his feet. He had to do it by running the football. But still, it's documented, and it has to be respected. When you counted on him most, he led for a game-tying drive right before the end of the game. And again, look at who he threw the ball to during this drive. ETN twice, Tim Jones for 15 yards, incomplete passes to Hunter Long and Austin Trammell. Brian Thomas Jr. was not on the field. Diami Brown was not on the field. Travis Hunter and Brenton Strange were back in Duval, as far as I know, not in Las Vegas. This is how he did it. And I'm not trying to act like I'm a Trevor Lawrence apologist. I'm not. I'm just being honest here. He found a way to win. You don't want this to be the case every week. Look at these injuries. C.J. Stroud. We just talked about Jaden Daniels. You got quarterbacks going down all the time. Who was it? Carson Wentz last week? I think we're down to like 10 starting quarterbacks out of 32 teams that at this point, the first couple of days of November, you're already going to a backup quarterback. So he has to get better. You've played what now? What are they? They've played 8 games, and he's thrown 9 touchdowns. And, his completion percentage is 59.7. That's 31st in the NFL. And whenever you say it, it feels like, well, Ballou, you got to put in the fact that offensive line has allowed all those pressures. Ballou, you got to put in the fact that this is the most penalized team offensively in the NFL. You got to put in the fact that the skill position guys lead the league in drops. There's one after another. And I know, I get it. You want a Trevor Lawrence 320-yard game, 3 touchdowns. I get it. It's been forever since you have seen something like that. His quarterback rating is 79.7. It's 30th in pro. It's tough to support those numbers. But he found a way to win yesterday. We'll see what he does this weekend coming up in Houston. All right, much more from you. 641-1010 on the text line. Brought to you by Lifetime Enclosures. Also, a lot of good stuff coming in tonight on YouTube. You can join us as well. Go to 1010XL into the night. We didn't even talk about the World Series. Probably won't. We don't have time. Didn't even get into college football. Georgia, Florida here. Kirby Smart's always going to get a call, right? Georgia fans are infuriated with me. I watched the game on the plane on the way in to Vegas. I didn't have any volume. I was watching on a phone. A buddy next to me, I shouldn't say a buddy, a guy I met and his wife were kind enough to let me to watch it with them. And, I thought Florida was playing with Georgia, maybe even better than Georgia. Georgia fans are going crazy. Georgia fans are so sensitive right now. This is fun. I have to remind these Georgia fans that they were absolutely, totally irrelevant for 40 years, man. You guys did nothing. Now you're acting like you invented the game. You got a coach who's going to get you a call. And you know what? Take it with you. Belichick got calls. Saban got calls. Kirby Smart can call timeouts, fake timeouts, hand clap, yell, spit, bitch, do whatever he wants. The man gets calls. I would love it if my coach got calls. So stop complaining, Georgia. He's a whiner, and that is what he is. But the man gets calls.
Get the goods on Gainesville 24/7. Search 1010XL Gators on YouTube.
When it comes to glass, you don't want average. You want flawless. Duval Glass and Mirror has transformed homes and businesses across Jacksonville for over 35 years. Frameless showers that wow. Mirrors cut exactly to your style. Fogged or broken glass replaced. Decorative tabletops. Windows replaced or repaired to stand up to Florida storms. All backed by a 100% guarantee. Visit DuvalGlass.com for your free quote. There's only one name for glass and mirror around these parts. It's Duval.
Tired of roofers who never answer the phone and just use AI?
I'm Morgan Conley, the People's Roofer. I answer every call. No robots, no runaround. I'm born here, built here, staying here. Visit MorganConleyRoofing.org.
Running a small business is tough, so the Florida Small Business Development Center at UNF provides a free business checkup, a personalized analysis that helps you boost profits, your online presence, and increase your company's value. No cost, no strings attached. It's guidance from experts who understand what it takes to succeed in business. Whether you're just starting out or ready to expand, it's time to act. Complete a request for consulting at unf.edu/SBDC.
Hey, Hickett here for Zero Res. It's Thanksgiving time, man. But listen, don't deal with the toughest gravy, cranberry sauce, or pumpkin pie disasters. Let the cleaning freaks do it. Get back to clean. 3 rooms of carpet clean starting at $149. A 4th room free with a canned food donation. Ideally, a full bag of cans, not just 1 or 2. Also, take $75 off your air duct cleaning. Call my friend Zero Res right now, 28757, or go online at ZeroResJacksonville.com and say you want the 1010 special. Zero Res, spelled backwards or forwards. It spells the same.
This is Hayes Carline for First Florida Credit Union. I bank with First Florida Credit Union because I trust them. I can always count on them when it comes to the vast services they provide. The online banking services are outstanding. So easy to use, depositing checks through the mobile app is fast and efficient. First Florida Credit Union was voted Best Credit Union in the Best of Bold City Community Choice Awards for 3 years running, and it's easy to see why. You need to be banking with First Florida Credit Union. They're enriching people every day. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity Lender.
This right here, this is where it starts. With a little flame and a lot of love. When the air cools or the night falls, fire brings the warmth. But it's what we bring to the table that matters. Slow smoked barbecue. Stories that stretch long. Laughter that lingers. And moments that just feel full. That's why it's always Sonny's here.
Rebound Rehabilitation. 11 great locations across the First Coast, and they're just a click away when it comes to feeling strong and healthy again. If you need the best path to recovery, look no further than Rebound Rehab. Log on and check out one of their great 11 locations.
Jacksonville's building a fence along the goal line. This is the Superior Fence and Rail Defensive Player of the Game. Superior Fence and Rail, where quality matters.
Boye Aluakan showed heart while in Sin City. The Jacksonville linebacker tallied 11 tackles on Sunday, with 5 being solo, and would also add in a tackle for loss. Number 23 flew like an eagle on defense, and he's your Superior Fence and Rail's defensive player of the game.
You waited forever for your new fence. Then, strangers show up. Subcontractors rushing the job. Sent by the company you trusted. Frustrating, right? Superior Fence and Rail promises better. Their professionally trained builders deliver quality you can trust. No subcontractors, no shortcuts. Just the superior craftsmanship your home deserves.
When you're on the fence, about a fence, SuperiorFenceandRail.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
Now the cool down with Donovan Air, Electric and Plumbing, keeping Jack's cool since '87.
Jacksonville back from Las Vegas after a 30-29 victory. They go to 5-3. Next up, another roadie. This time to Houston. Be a huge week around here. First of all, Trevor Lawrence was ill. You got to imagine he'll be back to 100%. And then you begin with Devin Lloyd, and you start firing off names. Will Lloyd be back? Will Jordan Lewis be able to play? Where's Diami Brown in the concussion protocol? What is his health going to be? I asked Brian Thomas Jr. about his ankle after the game yesterday in Las Vegas. He said he was fine, but that's pretty common for players. Ezra Cleveland did go out. And, they went, it was a strong day by Cole Van Lanen. A lot of activity in the jumbo package yesterday for the Jaguars. Of course, Eric Murray, Travis Hunter, both on the injured reserve. They're going to be there for 3 more games. Brenton Strange could come off the IR next week when the Los Angeles Chargers come into town. All right. You went to Florida, Georgia. I thought you guys got robbed on that Sturdivant ball. A little bit, it was underthrown, but here's the way I look at it. If that was Colby Young, that's a reception. I don't care what the referees say on the field. I don't have a dog in the fight here, no pun intended, okay? I'm wanting Georgia to win. I don't want to see Florida be successful. I'm a Florida State grad. But I also have this thing about being honest when I see something, okay? To me, that was a catch.
I thought it was a catch as well. It felt like one of those things, and I was at the game. There was no view, the camera, where it showed that it was an incomplete pass. It looked like his arms got under it when I was in the stadium on the Jumbotron, and I felt like what we saw on the Jumbotron was pretty clear of what you saw on TV. It was one of those things where the refs were not going to overturn what the call on the field because it was too close.
No.
And that sucked. I mean, if they called it a catch on the field, I think they would have called it a catch and moved on. That's not the case. The ball was underthrown. I mean, it was almost a 50-yard pass. The only thing I would have wished Lagway would have done, he wasn't facing pressure. I wish he would just set his feet and just, flicked it. It wasn't like it was at Austin Appleby or, Del Rio throwing the ball. Lagway can make that throw.
Right, yeah, and one of the worst things that I am not a fan of at all is complaining about the officiating. And I really complained about the game in Cincinnati on that pass interference call against Travis Hunter. I thought that was a bogus call. But you look at my alma mater, man, that 2-point conversion with Deuce, I didn't even mention it. And I thought Sawchuk was in when they didn't even have a goal line camera at the farm in Stanford. I mean, those are 2 calls right there that absolutely went against Florida State. But I think when you complain openly about your team, you sound miserable. That's why I've learned in this business that if it's a team you really care about, and I made an exception with Travis Hunter and the Jags, I usually let it go. But when I see what Kirby Smart did and how he got that call at goal line against Auburn and how he called the timeout and said he did not call a timeout, and they basically gave him in that play a total do-over. Like we used to do when we would play street lot football.
Yeah.
You got a do-over. on that play. Kirby Smart, and again, he's going to get calls. He's a successful coach. He intimidates the officials, and he's going to get calls that others do not.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw it from the Patriots for all those years.
Oh, yeah.
And, the Mahomes with the Chiefs, any good teams, Jordans, 90s Bulls, all good teams get calls to go in their favor. It may not, it may be little things over time, and then sometimes it's a big play like that. But, I mean, you know how it is. You've seen sports long enough. You get calls if you're the better team.
Miami lost for a second consecutive week or twice in the last 3 weeks. And, man, are they beaten up. They may be without Mark Fletcher. They may be without their who's the big transfer wide receiver, Daniels. He may not be able to give it a go. One of their starting corners might not be able to give it a go. Miami's kind of falling into what we saw with Texas A&M forever. That is every year they start 6-0, 6-1, 7-0. Then Texas A&M would lose, 3 of their last 4. Miami loses to Louisville. They lose to SMU. They have home dates again with Syracuse and NC State. NC State knocked off Georgia Tech, ended their undefeated season. Then they go to Vatek, who's made a coaching change. They go to Pittsburgh, who's playing some really good football. Those will be 2 cold weather games. All of a sudden, you look at the ACC, and it's like, oh, my God, what is going on in this conference? But certainly that was a big upset that did occur over the weekend. And overall, in college football, thought it was a pretty good weekend, but it's really going to be able to, really going to start to pick up here beginning this week, including earlier in the week, but certainly on Saturday, some of the big-time games that are going on. All of a sudden, you got to look at teams like Texas Tech. It's like, what's going on there? 43 points at Kansas State. Notre Dame, after 2 early losses, they beat a BC team that is just awful. 1-8. Oklahoma stays alive by winning in Knoxville, 33-27. How about Virginia? All of a sudden, Virginia, SMU, and Pittsburgh, those are like the 3 teams where the talk all year had been Georgia Tech and Miami.
Yeah, somehow the ACC, it feels like everybody's going to have 2 conference losses, and none of them play each other somehow, some way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Miami has fallen down a path where it feels like they're reeling instead of, where it happened last year was the last 3 weeks of the season. Seems like it's happening now. SMU had 27 rushing yards, and they had 25 in overtime alone. They ran the ball every play in overtime to win the game, and Miami only gave up 27 rushing yards.
SMU 6-3. You look at the ACC. Virginia 8-1. Georgia Tech 8-1. Pitt 7-2. Louisville 7-1. SMU 6-3. Are you trying to tell me Duke went into Clemson and won for the first time since 1980?
Yeah, and Dabo wasn't happy.
No. And there's some talk that he should be. I mean, give me a break. Everyone's going to have a bad season one time, at one point. Is Indiana the best team in football right now?
I would say they're behind Ohio State, but they're the only team that is dominating everybody.
They've scored 262 points. Ohio State scored 172. The Buckeyes have only allowed 39 conference points. I'm talking about conference here. These aren't non-conference games. 39 conference points in 5 games. Indiana's allowed 74. All right, real quick here. The SEC, it still feels like it's Alabama to me. Texas A&M remains undefeated. Let's take a quick peek at their schedule the rest of the way through because, the state of Texas right now with A&M and with Texas Tech is really impressive. All right, they go to Missouri this weekend. They host South Carolina. They host Samford. And then they go to Texas. They have a real opportunity here to be undefeated in the regular season. Now, Missouri on the road is ranked 19th. And, of course, Texas playing better football now. That game is in Austin the day after Thanksgiving. That'll be Friday, November 28th. So that is going on as well. That is the very latest. Florida State, I don't even know what to make of it. I mean, where did that come from? And I'm a little bit worried. I'm trying to take the temperature of the Seminole fans. And I'm starting to get a lot of, well, we lost 4 straight games. Well, but we only lost them by 1 possession. I'm like, just stop. Just stop. How soft have we become? It's over. The light went on. You want to prove something? Go knock off a bad Clemson team this weekend. Go in there and win a game. You're an underdog. See if you can win under the bright lights of a Friday night at North Carolina State. Florida, again, played tough yesterday. I just can't see how Florida State can win there. And then you have Vatech. Only 1 game remains this year in Tallahassee. Virginia Tech comes in. But I hear people talking about, they're going to win 4 in a row. They're going to end up going 8-4. And I'm just like, you really think this team hasn't won on the road in forever? Okay? Last time Mike Norvell won on the road, Elvis Presley was performing live in Las Vegas, okay? You think you're going to go win at Clemson? You're going to go win at NC State on a Friday night, and you're going to go win at Florida? Hey, I'm here for it. I'd love to see it. But I'd say maybe one of those 3 tops on the road for FSU.
Hey, First Coast, it's your boy Leon Searcy, your lemon pepper guy. Back and better than ever for Wingstop. You know I can't resist those crispy, flavorful wings that make your taste buds dance. Wingstop just opened a hot new spot on Jeremiah Street in Middleborough. There's 17 locations now serving up the most mouth-watering wings in town. And my all-time favorite, lemon pepper. Try their new quick and easy ordering on the app and swing by today for fresh, hot wings made for you. Only at Wingstop.
Hey folks, this is Denny Thompson, and when it comes to protecting my home, I turn to Tyson, the leaders in state-of-the-art home security right here in Jacksonville. Their AI cameras and smart doorbells are top-notch, keeping an eye on what matters most. Whether you're moving in or upgrading, Tyson offers flexible packages, rent or own, with specials on the first 3 years. Ramp up now for the holidays, the perfect gift for you or someone you love. Call Tyson today at 590-7979 for details.
Post-game Monday on 1010XL is served up by Dandy Foods, making quality fresh sandwiches since 1956.
Garrett Scantling here, and once again, thanks to Southeast Orthopedic Specialists, I'm back to training for the 2028 Olympics in LA. My torn hip labrum issue is resolved thanks to Dr. Doward, and Dr. Acevedo keeps my feet healthy too. Training and competing, that's what it's all about for me. And Southeast Orthopedic Specialists has me in top condition.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Julington Creek Pest Control has been serving our community since 1984. Our turf management program is an all-out blitz, granular fertilization, weed and insect control, keeping your lawn championship green all year. Quarterly pest control stops bugs before they ever cross your goal line. Family owned, locally operated, expert technicians, top quality products, no gimmicks, just winning results. Julington Creek Pest Control, our family serving yours since 1984.
Tired of wrestling with your shower curtain like it's a slip and slide gone wrong? Ditch the drama and say hello to a smooth, stylish glass shower enclosure from Baker Glass. Why go glass? It's clean, elegant, and makes your bathroom look huge and brighter. Give your shower a makeover and feel like you're in a spa without the price tag. I'm Mac at Baker Glass. Call me and get ready to love your new shower. Let's make your shower great again. Remember, Baker Glass, no one treats you better.
Leonard Skinner is coming home, and they're bringing the Stars and Stripes. Celebrate Southern rock and American pride with Leonard Skinner Rocks the Red, White, and Blue. It's a special night to support St. Michael's soldiers and the brave men and women of our armed forces.
Singing songs about Southland.
Saturday, November 8th at Daly's Place. Tickets on sale now, only at Ticketmaster. Daly'sPlace.com for details. Be there when Skinner rocks for those who serve.
Jeff Prosser here for Lloyd's Heating and Air. Need a leader for commercial, retail, multifamily, or hospitality projects? Or top-tier residential service? No gimmicks, no mascots, just real expertise and hard work. As your trusted statewide mechanical partner and local family-owned team, Lloyd's is the name Northeast Florida counts on. Visit LloydsHeatingandAir.com. Lloyd's Heating and Air. keeping you comfortable in every season.
Committed to the mission. At Navy Mutual, we're committed to providing high-quality life insurance to members of the military and their families. Because at Navy Mutual, our highest commitment is to you. Visit NavyMutual.org.
This Veterans Day, Navy Mutual would like to salute Rocky Marciano as our hero in sports. Representing the Army, Marciano won the 1946 Amateur Armed Forces Boxing Tournament. Marciano also compiled a 49-0 record with 43 knockouts.
We know exactly what you're not thinking about right now. Wiper blades. But now that you are, take a moment to think about how Rain-X is the #1 brand of wiper blades in America. Why? Because Rain-X thinks about wiper blades all the time. We obsess, so you don't have to. Simply install our blades and then think about literally anything else. So choose Rain-X, America's #1 wiper blades, and then go back to not thinking about wiper blades. Rain-X. Outsmart the elements.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah. Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnik. Nimnik Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnik Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
All right, it's a Monday night. We got some college basketball, including the Gators and the Wildcats of Arizona. Also, Monday night football. A lot of quarterbacks went down again this weekend, college and pro. Really awful.
Yeah, look, I mean, the Jaguars were reasonably healthy going into this week, and they're certainly not now, but at least their quarterback is healthy. The Jaden Daniels situation last night, I mean, it was an arm, it wasn't a leg, so take that for what it's worth. That was one of the more gruesome things you'll ever see.
Yeah, Dominic Raiola hurt himself against USC, the Nebraska quarterback, right after, the contract for Matt Rule, right after they lose 6 straight to Minnesota, and then they, end up getting bounced out there by USC. All right, you've talked an awful lot about it with the 5th quarter, as well as filling in for Hayes Carline a little bit earlier today. Do they add anything before 4 o'clock tomorrow?
I mean, I think you got to really look at it. I thought yesterday was a crossroads game, Rick, as far as the trade deadline. If you lose, that's 3 in a row. You're 4-4. I don't know, but now at 5-3, man, you're right in the thick of it. Plus with Indianapolis losing, you can basically end Houston's AFC South hopes on Sunday. That's something else that we'll talk about during the week. And with the injuries, I think you got to look at potentially wide receiver, potentially safety, and potentially interior defensive line. Those are the 3 areas that I would look at. And those 3 areas certainly need attention. The safety play on this team has been bad.
Yeah, it's been the worst position group, and that's saying something. Better performance yesterday, but the 2 weeks prior to that, the offensive line was just terrible. And Indianapolis's schedule, including in Berlin this weekend against one of the most unpredictable teams in football, the Atlanta Falcons. I don't ever know what to expect out of them. Jaguars' schedule is much easier down the road than the Colts.
Indianapolis finally played somebody good. I mean, they have 7 wins this year. 5 of those wins are 2 Titan games, Cardinals, Raiders, Dolphins.
Yeah.
They have had a cake schedule. They beat the Broncos, but if you'll remember, that was the leverage call on the missed field goal as regulation expired. 15-yard penalty. The Colts got another field goal and then won, and they beat a banged-up Chargers team in L.A. To their credit, they went to L.A. and beat the Chargers, but the Chargers were very injured that week. Pittsburgh was probably the 2nd-best team they've played this year, and they got pushed around. Yep. Indianapolis still has road games at Kansas City, at Seattle, here, at Houston. They still have the 49ers.
At home.
It is a tough schedule for the Colts moving forward.
Not to mention that game in Atlanta at 9:30 our time in Germany over the weekend. All right, what do you got coming up?
Yeah, obviously it's going to be a ton of Jaguar conversation. Brian Sexton, Jaguars.com, will join me, as will the head coach, Dave Campo. We'll also recap Florida, Georgia a little bit as well, so we're pretty loaded until 10 o'clock tonight.
All right, Hack, have a lot of fun.
Thanks, Rick.
That's going to do it for us. Good to be back from Las Vegas. Do want to thank Anton Harrison and Jarian Jones. Caught up with those two after the game in the victory yesterday. I have more interviews, which we'll play a little bit later on this week from the Jaguars locker room after their 30-29 win. All right, the next time we talk will be tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. Thank you to Dylan Denmark. Folks, have a great Monday night. I'm Rick Ballou. We'll do it again tomorrow at 6 o'clock on your home of the Jacksonville Jaguars.